Hello, hi. Starting trouble. I have all these information in my head, and I'll try to articulate as well, and I'll try to put them one after another so it makes some sense when I speak it out. Okay, so talking about owning responsibility, taking responsibility for ourselves as individuals, or as a gender, or as a society, anything, yeah. So somehow I have realized that women, society, the books, the movies, art of any sort, you know, in society in large, actually justifies a man's thought process, his actions, everything. Like, for example, let's start from the main person, God. I've not seen God. He has never told me this, but the God men have told me that this is what God has told them and it's been passed down. So, apparently, according to God, God created men in a certain way and God created women in a certain way. The way that God created the men is that uh, the way we see them right now, like they are fickle minded, they get disturbed easily, their mind is pretty much thinking of sex all the time, and they see a woman's hair, it's wet, it is moist, it is, then they get agitated. They see short hair, they get agitated. They like look at long hair, they'll get agitated. They see skin, they get agitated. They see nails, they'll get agitated. They look at the lips, they get agitated. They look at a fruit, they'll get agitated. Even the books that I have read from the institution, that spiritual institution that I followed, I always believed in it, that even if there is a stick and there's a sari wrapped around it and the wind comes and it blows and the sari is flying, I mean, most probably I look at it and think how beautiful it is. But apparently, God created men that they will look at it and they'll get agitated. They have to have sex right away. And many different things. And why did God, and my question, like, why did God created men, like, create man like that? God created man like that, according to the God men, is because, they need to sow their seeds everywhere. The sperm, when they have sex, the sperm goes into our body, yeah. So they have to do this for the generation, for people, for population, like to do that they have to be so. Okay, that's why God created. Second, the second thing is, our older generation, our grandparents, and before that, even in our houses, like, your elders tell, men are like that. If a man is there, then you behave in a certain way. Like in my family, I remember I went to Kerala recently, and the men are sitting together and drinking alcohol, which is quite okay, but where it is kind of a little, it's like a untold rule that the women are not meant to be there, and I'm wondering why. Is it because they're drunk and they'll get agitated? But it's okay to be drunk, you understand that point. But the problem is that, so there are, we justify everything, that men are like that, men are like that, men are like that, they're aggressive, men are like that, there is fight in the house, women, you need to adjust and go. Why? Because men are like that. Every time we justify a man's action. This is the older generation. Then the society, there's people get raped, and then even the highly educated people who say, you know what, guys, I don't really care if a girl, she can wear whatever she wants to, she can go out any way she wants to, she should have equal equality, she should be equal like us, she should be able, she has all the freedom to do whatever and however she wants to live her life. But we should understand there are crazy men out there, and in the end, who suffers? The women. So you know what, it's again justifying that men are like that. Okay, this is a society. And what do men say? Men, any man till today I have seen in my life. I'm 45 years. Starting from my father, this is my only and the first instruction my father gave about the opposite gender. Every man is an opportunist rapist. I'm repeating it again. Every man is an opportunist rapist. I don't remember him ever telling me stories about fairy tales. I don't remember him telling me anything except for this one that actually stuck in my head. That man, anytime I see a man, he's ready to jump on me and hump. That's what he wants. right? So most probably this is why I see all men like that, because and any man that I've spoken till today, and I've spoken to many many men in my life, either personally or through a podcast or some spiritual guru, any man, I wish I could count, they all said the same thing. You know what, men, that's what we want to do. We may tell you otherwise, but yeah, internet, what does it say? Recently there was something on the Instagram where they say, one guy is saying, we just tell you we want to be your friend only because you don't want to sleep with us, but we are hoping that you will say yes and finally we can hump you. So it's like, yeah, okay. Then even the, yeah, school, education system, movies, for example, there's a nice Tamil movie that I remember. I forgot the name of the movie, Balachandar's movie, and he's introducing Kamal Hassan, one of the most beautiful actor. So he is a very sabalam, means one who is lusty person. So the sentence, the first sentence of the movie starts like, here is our hero, and he is a little lusty. He gets agitated. I don't know what's the word for it. Somebody who's agitated sexually all the time, but very casually. But I'm thinking there was a similar movie made of Shri Priya, Aval Appadithan, and there it is like a taboo. You understand? So movies, art, poetry, anything, and even children these days are educated by the parents, by me. The to the children we tell them that boys are like that, girls we have to be careful, boys are like that, boys are like that, boys are like that. So that's one point. Let's keep that. That's one we were kind of established. We'll put it on the other side. Okay. When we take science, they found out through research that the size of the brain mass between a man and a woman, the man has a little bit bigger size than women, apparently a small lemon size. So previously, you know how science evolves because scientists do research and they study and everything. So previously they thought that's because men are smarter than women. Then they found out actually not. Apparently, if you put the brain of a man and a male brain and a female brain outside without the body attached to it, you will not, the functions and attributes of it, you will not find much of a difference except for the size of it. That's what says that it's a male brain. And but later they said it's not because anything great or anything small about the woman thing. It's because when you correlate the whole body mass, the height of a man, so then it's bigger, you understand. So that's the only reason. And anyway, later they found out that this corpus um, cerebellum or something, the white band which correlates between the left hemisphere and the right hemisphere, the logical and the emotion side of it, apparently it's more connected for women. And even the scientists are fascinated how women can actually at the same time logically and emotionally work at the same thing on a faster pace compared to a man. So this is the science part. So apparently the god who created our brain and body and everything, he did not make much of a difference here. Okay, so it looks pretty much similar, so we put that as a second box. Third box, what was the third box going to be? Wait, I have to pause, I have to think. Okay, I got it. So we talk about again, when it comes to god, like I said, I haven't met him yet. Maybe I did, but I forgot. He hasn't told me. And all these scriptures and all these god men are actually men who are telling these things. There is no woman who comes and tells that it's okay, accept the man from the godly group, you know what I mean. So I'm thinking, why did god, according to this is again explained by the god men, that this is what god, the reason why god created men like that is because like to sow the seed. So I'm thinking like, god is the one, like if you study this whole body, our own body, how it's so intricate and so fantastically working, I would expect God to be a little bit more smart. Not that he makes them fickle minded, that they are lusty in order to make a new generation, a child, a human being who's brought into this world for for the new, for the evolution. We are evolving, and we are bringing a new soul into the life and into this world, and they are supposed to do great things in life. And and the base of it is somebody who can't hold on, they just want to jerk off. Is that where it will come from? Like, I don't think, like, if I see God, or when I see God, I'll be like, is it really true? Do you think this is where you thought that's the reason, that this is the root of this beautiful new soul coming into the life, coming into the world? Think about it. Okay. And in this present world, women have evolved. There was times when women were not allowed to go to school. They were supposed to stay in the house. We all know how, this feminism and all of this today, where we are. Today we are scientists, we are in the space, we are doing everything, fantastic things in life. And there on the other side, the men haven't evolved at all. They're still talking about, what, when I see something, I need to lift my leg. That's what runs in our head. We don't want to even have friendship with you guys. All that we are thinking in our head is to have sex. It's like some mentally retarded people. So I'm thinking, like, and why do the men like this philosophy? Especially the religious ones. Why do they like it? They like it because it's easy. They don't have to work on it. Nah, it's great. Nah, you just live like that. You don't have to work on yourself. So again, if it is true, if it is really God said and it's been written and this is how God is created, and the men are strictly following because they are so really religious, they are so God fearing, God loving, they do everything what God says. God says so many other things also, yeah. Are you following all of that? Or you just pick and choose what is suitable for you because it works for you, because you can, isn't it? So even that theory doesn't sit well. And I'm thinking, like, maybe because we keep telling it something that kept telling over and over and again. Like, if I keep telling my son, you're useless, you're useless, you're lazy, he'll start believing it. So somehow I think for many whatever years, generations, eras, we've been telling men that it's okay for them to be like this because that's how they've been created. Like, even today, when we have conversation with our friends, and if we say, you know what, this is my nature, they'll say, change it, because we have the capacity to change things. We are intelligent, we are not animals. We have given the intelligence, because if something is not good, like, you put the hand in the fire and it doesn't serve the purpose, then next time you use your intelligence, isn't it? So if this is not good enough, if it is not working for the whole society, and when we blame, one man blames the other man, like, oh, this is what, then you have that quality in you and you say that it's in there, but we just control. Change it. Don't you want to evolve? We as women have come so far, so far, so far, and you still there talking like some when I see something I need to hump. Is really? See, again, I'm not talking about the men who don't fall in this category, so don't try to attack me. I'm only talking about majority of the society which believes in this philosophy that men are like this. I think maybe it is true when they were not very intelligent, that they were like cavemen and that's how they behaved, but I think they are equally as good as women are. And I think they should be given a chance. And how does it happen? From childhood, let's keep telling them that there is something called reprogramming. We can reprogram our brain by thoughts, by words. And the society has to change this idea of justifying a man's bad behavior. Even in the internet, you go there, like, what are the 10 ways to get a guy? First of all, why? Why? Like, you talking about as if that person is like it's not like somebody, it's like something, like how to reach that destination. It's like making it unapproachable, and it's like, do you know what I'm trying to say? So men need to catch up, and as women we have a huge responsibility. Like, always we've had this huge responsibility, as a mother, as a wife, as a girlfriend, as a sister, as a friend. as a co worker everywhere that we should stop justifying a man's action when it is bad and tell them right away that it's bad, and they should know there's a consequence, because it's a we need to train the animal, because for so long it's been like wild. It's not going to be done overnight. It will take time. So it is a training process, and I think each one of us have to take that responsibility starting from home. I have a 10-year-old son. I'm not going to be like, what, guys are like that. No, 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 no. No, guys are not like that. You need to change. You're not a monkey. You're a human being. You have more intelligence than an animal. So that's my thought. Thanks for listening.